Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. Hope you enjoy. Story number 1. Dangerously Cute. Written by Clonk 3D. Humanity, well, they're the most dangerous known species in the whole galaxy. There's just one tiny problem with that. They're so adorable. And now, it may seem odd that something that weighs as much as a typical family in pure muscle and bone could be cute. But humanity has the whole package. I mean, the whole package. Sparse fur, big eyes, small mouth, wobbly gait, and most importantly, and the most adorably squeaky voices. The real issue this creates is when you're dealing with militant humans, especially if you're unlucky enough to be a cadet who gets human drill sergeant. It's always fun watching their first reactions to those. As they first catch sight of the human, the whole squad is cooing and dawing. But as the drill sergeant gets closer, the eyes slowly change to fear as they realize just how big humans get. And believe me, they get big. Then, when the drill sergeant arrives, he stands there looming over the cadets while they still stare up in horror. A hush falls over the group, and suddenly the human starts screaming at them in the sort of voice you only hear in children's programming. And you can literally see every neuron in the cadet's brain case short-circuiting as they hover between fear and cuteness overload. Seriously, watching that is the best part of my job. Anywho, back to dealing with humans. See, the thing is, most of the time, they're big lovable teddy bears everyone sees them as. Even the drill sergeant is just putting on an act when they are being scary to the recruits. This makes it easy to forget what they are capable of and diminish them if you're in an office setting. After all, your mind is constantly telling you these are infantile things when interacting with humans, and you have to train that part of your brain away, else you'll end up insulting them. The easiest way to deal with a human if you have no experience is to treat them like they are capable of anything. See, if they can't do anything, they'll let you know. But if you treat them like they can't do something that you can do, they'll get mightily offended. Trust me, you don't want to be on their bad side. Saw a guy do that once. Human pointed out a safety hazard. The guy started cracking up because of the squeaky voice talking about the suspended loads. This pissed off the human, who proceeded to shout at him with an even more squeaky voice. Human grabs him by the waist and pins him to the wall, dangling at least his own height in the air, and screams at him, which, let me tell you, is the worst high-pitched tone you ever did hear. Luckily for the guy, hanging there against the wall, legs kicking freely, managed to get him to stop laughing enough to apologize. Just between us, if he didn't manage to stop laughing, that human was going to put him through the wall. Hell, the knuckle prints were left in the wall for years as a reminder to not piss off the humans. And of course, the guy ended up bruising up real nasty on both sides. Looks like the overripe banana. I think he drives tugs now. Now, back to your whole human roommate issue. Let me tell you, you're not got nothing to worry about, long as you treat them fair. Like I was saying, they're harmless. Plus side of rooming with them is the bed. See, human beds are great big things. They got to be after all. Point is to take the top bunk. Sure, it'll be a bit of a climb, but humans can roll in their sleep too. And you'd much rather roll off a high bunk than have a human accidentally roll off onto you. As for grooming habits, unless you get a real familiar like with your roommate, chances are they're not going to want to see you without your clothes on either. So change in the bathroom. Other things, humans bathe in artificial rain, so there'll be a big rain chamber in the bathroom as well. Some humans sing while raining themselves, some don't. Nobody is really sure what it means. Oh! A lot of human males prefer to spend their free time playing combat sims with other humans. If your roommate does this, it's a good way to understand them and get your brain away from the cute reflex around them. See, once you see how brutal humans can be in combat, even simulated combat, seeing them as cuddly becomes real difficult, just remember that they won't tear you limb from limb. Probably. End of story. Story number 2. A Study of Humans Voiding, written by Flaming Raven. the various species of the universe have various forms of punishment. For the Cax, it is a removal of one of their many fangs. This doubles as both corporal punishment and humiliation. With the Gennari, they are placed into a hot, dry area until the preset time has passed. Their normally mucus-covered skin flakes into the hot sun of their home world. With my people, the Toady, we must consume ethanol and run through an obstacle course designed to be as painful as it is frustrating. This run is broadcast to only Toadian systems, but has recently been sent to other races. It is classified as entertainment. See Analysis of Human Entertainment Wipeout for further details. Humans, however, they do not have preset punishments. They punish their criminals in ways befitting the crime and situation. I'd first heard of the term voiding when I was staying in a human military ship. I was researching their maritime laws and traditions. Apparently, a member of the crew was accused of sexually assaulting another crew member. They held a brief trial, with the captain acting as judge and a few uninformed parties acting as jury, myself included. It was a brief but brutal trial. The evidence was a hollow of the crew member, Brad Mattingly, performing the act. He was found guilty and sentenced to be voided upon leaving FTL. The human went pale and started begging, pleading in a broken, stuttery dialect. Not even my advanced translators could decipher his jumbled words. Neither could the Terrans, it seems. He was fitted with an environmental suit with several obvious augmentations, and his helmet, normally see-through glass, was painted matte black. He was then dragged out into the emptiness of space. Then the ship's speakers went live. He started with begging, then praying, then sobbing and screaming, and laughter. The man was being driven insane. The environmental suit was augmented to stimulate the wearer's body heat so they could feel nothing. Their only form of vision was covered, their communications were cut, and they were simply drifting through the cosmos. The ultimate form of sensory deprivation, inspired by both the old White Room torture and the keel-holding methods. See Human Methods Enhanced Interrogation for more data. He was eventually hauled back inside after the captain deemed that he had learned his lesson. When the helmet was removed, he was facing a viewport. He was then turned to see his victim and the captain. "From this moment forward, every breath you breathe is a gift from her," the captain said, tilting his head to the victim. "You will be marked and confined to the next human world we make a landfall." The captain grabbed the human, pulling him uncomfortably close. "If you ever try that again on my ship, I will make sure that suit never comes off," the captain intoned coldly. The human's eyes went wild with fear before the captain turned to his first mate. "Brig," he simply said, before walking away. I was later called up to the captain's cabin. I found him leaning over the charted course. "I do hope that experience won't affect your perception of my species," the captain simply stated, his cobalt eyes never leaving his chart. No, not at all, Captain. I came here to study your species from an objective point of view. My opinion of humanity has not changed," I said dutifully. The captain malformed a wry smirk. "Do me a favor and let the galaxy know about this incident, will you? But keep the names confidential," he said. His eyes splitted to me, then back to the board. I could not help but feel confusion. "Why is that, Captain?" I asked. "Because name redacted asked me to ask," the captain simply stated. "Any further questions?" "No, sir. Merely the chance to thank you for this opportunity is enough," I said. But before I left, the question popped into my head. I then gave voice to my curious mind. "Why did you transmit his microphone to the speakers?" "To send a message," he answered. "What kind of message?" I asked. The captain's cobalt eyes shot up to bore straight into my soul. I felt as if I was encased in the deepest ice of the human world, Europa. "This is what will happen if anyone else tries it. I thought that was obvious." End of story. I would just quickly like to thank the T5 channel members and patrons. Caspar Arnholtz, Cam Maxwell, Parky, It's Difficult to Pronounce, Lord Azrakal, and Arcadian.